Let me ask you something real quick. How many miles did you run last week? More than the week before? Good. How about the week before that? Also more? Okay. So here's the uncomfortable question. Why aren't you getting faster? You're running more. You're showing up. You're putting in the work, and your times are basically the same as they were 3 months ago, maybe 4. Sound familiar? That right there is the trap. And almost every recreational runner falls into it eventually, including people who have been running for years. They think more automatically means better. It doesn't. And if you don't understand why, you will keep grinding away and going absolutely nowhere. If you've been with us since the beginning of this series, you know we've been building something together, going from getting off the couch to finding your rhythm to actually racing without blowing up in the first mile. You've put in real work. And now it's time for the piece that most runners never figure out. This right here is the video that separates the runners who keep improving for years from the ones who hit a wall and just stay there. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Because what's coming after this one is going to mess with everything you thought you knew about how to train. But we'll get to that. First, what's your biggest running frustration right now? Drop it in the comments. I want to know. Here's the reality nobody wants to say out loud. Most recreational runners are training hard, but training wrong. Not a little wrong. Fundamentally wrong. They go out, they run at the same pace, for the same distance, at the same effort level, day after day. Maybe they add a mile here or there when they feel ambitious. They call it building a base. What they're actually doing is teaching their body to be very, very good at one very specific thing, running mediocre miles at a comfortable effort. Your body adapts to stress. That's the whole game. When you stress it, it rebuilds stronger. When you don't, it gets comfortable and stops changing. And comfortable runs feel productive. You come home sweaty, tired, maybe a little proud of yourself, but your aerobic system, your lactate threshold, the actual machinery that makes you faster, it didn't get challenged, not even a little. Be honest with yourself. How often do you actually run hard? Not, I was breathing a little heavier, hard. Actually hard, where you're uncomfortable, where your lungs are burning, where finishing that last interval feels genuinely difficult. If you can't remember the last time that happened, there's your answer. That's why you're not getting faster. Not because you're lazy, because you've been accidentally training yourself to stay exactly where you are. Now let's talk about the excuses. Because everyone has them. I don't want to get injured. Fair. But here's the thing. Doing the exact same run at the exact same effort every single day is also how you get injured. Repetitive stress. Same muscles. Same motion. Same impact. Over and over. Ironically, adding variety, real hard efforts followed by real easy recovery, actually reduces injury risk when done right. So that excuse doesn't hold up. I read that running slow builds your aerobic base. Yes, it does. Easy running is important. Nobody's telling you to sprint every day, but if that's all you're doing, if your entire training week is one long slow loop, you're building a base with no house on top of it. Ridiculous. Easy. Running is a tool. It's not the whole toolbox. I don't have time to do complicated training. You have time to run 3 or 4 days a week? Perfect. That's all you need. One of those runs becomes a workout. One stays easy and long. The others are recovery. That's it. That's the whole system. Complicated is just another word for I haven't committed yet. Here's what nails people the most, though. I just need to run more miles. They see elite runners logging 80, 90, 100 miles a week and think volume is the secret. It's not the secret. It's one part of a bigger picture. And elite runners doing 100 miles a week are running most of those miles genuinely easy, with a handful of brutally hard workouts mixed in. They're not grinding medium hard every single day. That's not how it works. That's never how it worked. Okay? So what actually works? Simple. You need contrast. Hard days and easy days, not medium days and slightly less medium days. Real contrast. 1 day a week, run hard. Intervals, tempo runs, fartlek. Pick one. If you've never done intervals before, here's your starting point. Find a track or a flat stretch of road. Run hard for 1 minute. Actually hard, a 7 or 8 out of 10 effort. Walk or jog easy for 2 minutes. Repeat that 6 times. That's it. That one session will do more for your speed than 3 extra easy miles ever will. 1 day a week, go long, slower than you think. If you can't hold a full conversation, you're going too fast. The long run builds endurance, yes, but only if you're not wrecking yourself trying to hit a certain pace. Slow down. Seriously. Everything else? Easy. Recovery pace. Boring. Conversational. The runs that feel almost too easy, those runs exist, so your hard days can actually be hard. If you go medium every day, your hard day becomes medium too, and you've gained nothing. And here's the one detail that changes everything. Your easy pace is probably not easy enough. Most runners run their easy days at like 70 to 80% effort and think that's recovery. It's not. Real recovery pace should feel almost embarrassingly slow, especially the day after a hard workout. Embrace the slow. It pays off. Here's the bottom line. You don't need to run more. You need to run differently. Smarter training is not softer training. It's more intentional training. Hard when it needs to be hard. Easy when it needs to be easy. Purposeful, not just habitual. You've been putting in the miles. Give those miles a reason to exist. Now, there's something else going on underneath all of this. Something most runners completely ignore. And ignoring it might be the single biggest reason your training isn't working, even if you do everything I just said. We're talking about heart rate. And I don't mean just knowing your max heart rate. I mean understanding whether you've been running in completely the wrong zone this whole time, without ever realizing it. That's what we're covering next. And I'll be honest, with you. That video is going to make a lot of people realize they've been doing this backwards from day one. If this series has been helping you, and I hope it has, subscribe so you don't miss it. You've come too far in this journey to stop now, and leave me a comment. Are you a just run more person, or have you already started mixing it up? I genuinely want to know where you're at.